First, Ciaran, congratulations, well done. I think the smile on your face says it all. What a team performance.
It was an excellent second half. I thought the first half was a superb performance too, because it was a real Ulster Championship battle, point for point, and Armagh brought a different element to the game than we've been used to. They brought a physicality to it, and they were huge all over the field. They were massive, and they wanted to plough forward, and that creates issues for a manager who doesn't have size in his team. But ultimately, the second half is usually the tails, and our boys managed the game better in the second half. Although, unfortunately for Armagh, they lost two key men, the 6 and the 11. There were two massive losses to them, and that in any team, that's a huge loss. And that did have an impact on the game. It did, in fairness. But it was a great second half performance from us. I have to say, you have to give the boys credit. I don't often give them any credit. I'm sort of saying it through grit teeth, but they did. They produced a good in the second half, and they've earned the right now to have a shot at the thing.
They have indeed. But the first half, as you remarked there was only 3 points between you, 9 points to 6. It was end-to-end stuff, swapping scores. Armagh were building everything from the back to their number 4 here out on the corner, and you seem to be allowing them to do that because you were putting the pressure on them then when they come out around the centre of the field, turning them over and getting the scores.
Well, to allow someone of the calibre of Ryan Mc Caffrey to come back and cover and sweep and link as he does at seniors and at under 21 level, that means we have to concede somewhere up the pitch. So the target was to allow Armagh to kick short ball out to either 2 or 4, and they did very successfully, and they carried the ball, and it can be a dangerous tactic to employ, especially against a big physical running team. But at the end of the day, we've worked very hard at that disciplined tackling, group tackling, and it paid off. Although I have to say, a couple of their forwards knocked over some of the scores tonight. But it was well worth it. I know I didn't pay them, but the entrance fee tonight was well worth to see some of those scores. Oisin O'Neill kicked a fantastic score. A couple of the Armagh inside forwards were very McPartlin, very good, very. As I said in a previous interview, you'll see those lads all playing for Armagh in a couple of years. You will. That's the future of Armagh. There's some counties have their under 21s, and you might only see one coming up, and maybe 2. We have 3 lads in the senior panel. I would imagine that Ciaran will be having 5 or 6 of those lads stepping right up there in the season.
And it shows what a test has been for your side here tonight as well. Real character shown by them as well. They got the opening point of the second half. Then it come back to down to 2 points or 1 point, the minimum between them, and then you just really kicked on. I think it was 2-7 to a point.
We scored the first point, was very good, and then Armagh really responded and put us back on the course because they scored 2 very, very neat points. And then there was a nipping and tucking, and there was shooting been done from both sides, and then the penalty came, and the penalty really took the game away. Because then suddenly there was 5 points, and then once you get to 5 points, teams can either die a bit and they lose a wee bit of interest, a wee bit of heart, and a wee bit of discipline, and lads sort of come down a bit, and then suddenly you open up and you get a bit of room to manoeuvre, and that's exactly what happened. Was that Armagh just obviously thought, oh Christ, this is going to happen, and suddenly then put a space, and then key men, Barry McGinn got a couple of good scores, Sess got a couple of good scores, and that's what made the difference. Franco came in there, a young fella, very, very light, and he showed his silky skills, you know what I mean, and regardless of how small you are, because he'll probably get 8 up and spot out in Scottstown at some point, but he showed too what he's capable of. And that and as I said earlier, when you have substitutes that can come in and enhance your team, then that's a great advantage to have.
It is, certainly, and it really showed the panel game for you this season. You have a wonderful axis that you kind of play off there as well as Ryan Mc Caffrey and Desi Ward, and they constantly interchange. Obviously it might be something that's worked on the training ground. One goes forward, the other drops back, and vice versa. It's very, very hard to try and counteract that as well, and you could see that Armagh were panicking all the time, and a lot of frees then coming your way as well.
Well, I'll take credit for that. I hadn't realised that was actually happening, but I'll absolutely take credit for that technical. No, the 2 lads work very well, but Ryan's just a very intelligent player. And Desi and Ryan have been playing together since the mid-50s. You know what I mean? That's the difference. The difference is the players are used to each other, and they're used to working, and they know each other inside out. That makes a big difference.
It does indeed. Finally, up against Tyrone, the heart will be divided. Obviously, it's in Monaghan at the moment where you're on the 21 team. You're going up against Tyrone. It's a repeat of the 2013 minor final as well. Both these teams will know each other inside out, upside down. The one little thing maybe Monaghan will take is that this Monaghan team has never lost to Tyrone in the championship, so maybe that will be something that could be used in the dressing room.
No, Monaghan will win absolutely underdogs. You're playing the Ulster and Ireland champions, so you couldn't have it any other way, but Tyrone have to be top dogs. That's the nature of the beast. That's the team you're playing. They know each other inside out. They've been playing against each other at university. They've played each other at minors, under 21s, development squads. They're more used to each other than probably some of their own club mates. But it'll be a dinger of a match as usual.
And the biggest headache you'll have is making a selection of a starting 15 because every player has stepped up to the mark.
We have, but the players pick the team. At the end of the day, if you push yourself and you're prepared to play as part of the system, and you
protect the team. If you're not prepared to play part of the system or work, then you put yourself out of the team. That's the nature of the beast.